Welcome, Libra, to your reading for the first half of October. This is your 12 house spread, and we're just going to jump right in. So, in the first house, we have the Ace of Pentacles. An offer is coming through to you, Libra, and sitting in your first house of self and identity, and that will color the rest of this reading, is this theme of an offer coming through for you. So, what a great start to this reading. The Ace of Pentacles is it's kind of like an unexpected offer as well, and it's to do with value, it's to do with your resources. So paying attention to wherever this is emerging for you, Libra, and we'll see how the rest of the reading shows up for you with that. So let's see the clarifier, Fran.
Yeah, Libra. For our clarifier for your first house, we have the Four of Swords. So in your house of identity, I'm wondering if you're feeling exhausted with keeping up your identity, whatever that means for you. So maybe this offer coming in is an offer around kind of reinventing yourself, reinvigorating or reinventing your sense of self and your identity. But more will be revealed as we press on, Libra.
Yeah, let's see what's coming up next. So in the second house of value and resources, you have the Star card. And this is wish fulfillment. This is the card for Aquarius as well, Libra. So the Star card is representative of something that you've been hoping for and dreaming about. And this being in the second house of value, of worth, of resources, there may be something coming through for you with work, and there's an offer in the first house too. So it's like really big signaling of something positive coming for you through work, and maybe even a sense of feeling like accomplishment in terms of a dream or an idea being fulfilled through work. Let's see what the clarifier says, Fran.
Oh, okay, interesting. Libra, we have the Seven of Pentacles in your second house of resources and values and how you create your abundance through your resources. So you're just in a period of reflection and assessment around how you're creating your wealth. And because this is in your second house of values, I'm wondering if how you're creating your wealth is aligned enough to your values. Is that what you're perhaps questioning? More will be revealed, Libra.
Mm, lovely. And then in the third house, we have, and the third house of ideas and communication, we have the Chariot card. And this card is one of stability. It's the card for Cancer as well. And it's seeming like at this time, or maybe soon to come, there'll be a period of charging forward, moving in a structured way through and communicating your ideas and yourself to people in a sense that feels really solid and reliable. And the Chariot card also represents duality. So it can be bringing through the way you're feeling and underlying messages in your communication, not just superficially or surface level. And it's really strong because the chariot rider is armored. So maybe this is a time where you're communicating in a way that's clear, but also protecting and not showing too much vulnerability so that others could take advantage of that. Let's see what the clarifier says, friend.
Beautiful. Libra, in your third house of communication, you have the world. So this is achievement, accomplishment, recognition, getting a sense that you have arrived. And this is coming via your communication. And as Emma was saying, that chariot is full steam ahead with your communication. And I have a feeling with your communication, Libra, because you do rule balance, you do like to weigh everything up. I feel like if you perhaps just take a risk and go for it, with that chariot full steam ahead energy around communication, that there's going to be great achievement and accomplishment for you. So the sense I get is don't overthink it. Say what you need to say. You'll be rewarded for it.
Mm, awesome. Okay. And then in the fourth house, we have the Four of Pentacles. Libra, are you holding on to something around family or what's familiar to you? This card is often a messenger for letting go and seeing where you can practice a little more flexibility and adaptability. But it's also to do with pentacles. So there's something tangible that you're holding on to. It could be money, it could be resources. There's something about what's familiar or family of origin or chosen family that you're clinging to perhaps a bit too much. Where can you breathe a little more air and space into that? Let's see what the clarifier says.
Hmm. So, Libra, in your fourth house of family, your chosen family, how you make yourself a home in the world, where and how you feel at home in the world, you've got the Seven of Wands. So, this is a card of boundaries and drawing a line in the sand. So, I get the sense with your family, maybe you're saying enough is enough, you're asking for what you need. Um, and this seems like a risk you have to take. So rather than being risk adverse, like the Four of Pentacles that Em was talking about, sort of holding on too tightly, I feel like you need to bust through and say no or draw this boundary, whatever that means for you, Libra.
Yeah, great. And in the fifth house, Libra, we have the Temperance card. Um, I think this is your card, Libra. Is that right, friend? Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're showing up in the fifth house of self-identity and creative expression. And maybe this is where the offering is coming through for you, as seen in the first house, that there's something about refinement and turning something into greater abundance for yourself in the way you express creatively. It could be through a project, it could be a hobby, it could be the way you're communicating with people. It could be anything. It could be showing up in your relationships as well, because often when there's a sense of duality, it's to do with how we relate to ourselves and others. So just checking out for you, Libra, where are you feeling a little bit like you're needing to refine that ability? And if you are approaching refinement, how does that manifest and show up for you and bring you abundance? Let's see what the clarifier says.
Hmm. Yeah, really lovely, Libra. There's success coming in for you around creativity in your house of creative expression, the inner child. You have the Ace of Wands, which is a swift victory. It's also laser-like focus. So that's kind of an interesting card to have in this house of like playfulness and inner child and just kind of abandoned creativity. You're bringing a laser-like focus and you're having a victory there. So something I get the sense that you're working on something creative, some kind of creative um, project, and a lot of success is going to bring you fulfillment, and ultimately it's going to bring in success for you. And I think I get the sense because this card of laser-like focus is very different to that kind of prevarication that Librans are known for, sort of weighing everything up. So I get the sense that creativity is going to help with your decisiveness, which is then going to lead to this success for you, Libra.
Beautiful. And then in the sixth house, oh, would you believe it? We have the Ace of Wands in the sixth house. So this being in the house of work and making decisions, the Ace of Wands is also a type of offer coming through for you out of the blue. But the wands represent ideas, passion, and energy more than the swords do, which I think the swords are more around communication or truth and victory. So the Ace of Wands in the sixth house is, how is this offer actually coming through for you in work? I think it's really clear in this reading. There's something about your work or career or your job or project that's really going to be revitalized, and something out of the blue is going to come through and really support you in that. Let's see what the clarifier says, friend.
Amazing. Ace of Cups, Libra.
What?
So,
So many
yeah,
aces.
so many aces. So it really seems like an offer is coming through for you, like Em was saying, around work, and it's going to bring you greater fulfillment, which is what the Ace of Cups is all about. And the Ace of Wands is very much new beginnings, out with the old, in with the new. So
Mm,
really exciting prospects around work. You're getting recognition and reward. Exciting,
yeah.
right?
So good. And then in the seventh house, you've got the Seven of Cups here. Seventh house of being in relationships and romance, partnership. And sometimes this card is seen as spoilt for choice, too many things to choose. But it can also be seen as you have like a smorgasbord of options. And maybe if you're feeling like you don't have much to choose from, taking a step back and really noticing all the different choices that you do have can feel refreshing and like you have breathing space. So, yeah, if you're feeling like you're zeroing in on someone or feeling like you're having to make a decision about either this or that, just kind of getting that broader perspective can help settle some nerves around that and slowing things down a bit. Let's see what the clarifier says, friend.
I was just going to say, this is interesting too, Libra, that this is showing up in your house. And that card, Spoilt for Choice, showing up in your house. Spoilt for Choice is not necessarily a dilemma that Librans necessarily like, because you do sort of weigh up options, and decision making can be a little challenging for you. So the sense I get around that is just don't get into analysis paralysis. Trust your gut. Oh, beautiful. And what is showing up for you as your clarifier in your seventh house of relationships, partnerships, not necessarily romantic partnerships, also business partnerships. This is a beautiful card of abundance, the Nine of Pentacles. So I feel like if you do trust your gut, there is going to be great abundance for you. And she's created this wealth and abundance through a special skill. She's surrounded by grapes, which represent something that's difficult to grow, but this skill for you is easy. So I think you need to tap into that sense of ease and maybe move away from kind of identifying with the idea that decision making is hard. Perhaps just let that go and go into this beautiful spirit of the Nine of Pentacles. She really trusts her innate ability and capacity. So I think trust yourself, Libra.
Mm. Yeah, awesome. All right. And then in the eighth house, we have the Tower. And this is such a great placement for the Tower card because the eighth house is all about transformation and change. And maybe Libra, if you've been dreading this change, it's perhaps heartening to know that the Tower card coming up here represents an event that's already happened, and you're waiting for that insight and that message to sink in and integrate and internalize for you. What's the learning in the thing that just happened, whatever it could be? I'm feeling like it's something to do with work and something coming through at work, and you're just kind of thrown a little bit. But if that hasn't happened, perhaps it's something to do with making choices or making a decision. But the Tower card represents the earthing of that lightning strike that comes through the tower and grounds you. And it's such an important point, such an important time in your life for this change to take effect and lead to greater abundance eventually. So let's see what the clarifier says in terms of how that's showing up.
Two of Swords, Libra, in your house of transformation. So I think what's being transformed is the this or that thinking that the Two of Swords represents. So you're moving out of that very sort of limited dualistic thinking into something far more expansive. So really exciting. And that's happening, or that's being facilitated through you going within. This is a card about going within and trusting your intuition and trusting your gut. So there's a bit of a repeating message there for you, Libra.
Yeah. And then in the ninth house of expansion and higher thinking is the Eight of Wands. And the Eight of Wands is such a positive card because it's about quick success. And that being in the ninth house of like higher mind, beliefs, core values, philosophies of life, something's going to come quite immediately. And I think because it's just right next to the eighth house and the tower being in that position, this insight's going to come pretty fast. So maybe not much more work for you to do here, Libra, except to just reflect and sit in that experience. What's the clarifier saying, Fran?
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. The Chariot again.
Oh, great.
So I agree with you, Em. I think just go with the momentum. The Chariot is a card of momentum. Eight of Wands is a card of momentum. So I think just go with the momentum. Don't second guess.
Yeah,
Really
it's going to
exciting,
carry
Libra.
you.
Mm.
Great.
Unless you fight it or resist it or get into analysis paralysis. But if you trust it and move with the momentum, expansion, abundance, seizing opportunities, really exciting, Libra.
Another thing that comes up for me as you were talking, Fran, was don't force anything. That's a good message that I try to listen to all the time. And then in
Mm.
so that was the ninth house. In the 10th house, we have the Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords is clarity. And in the 10th house, this is in your reputation, in kind of your status, your public image. This is her head above the clouds for the first time. She's got her hand out ready for an offer and her hand up with a sword with caution as well. So you've been wizened up by your experiences, probably through this insight that's coming in fast for you in the eighth and ninth house. But whatever it is, the Queen of Swords is also nurturing and kind and guiding, and she knows what she wants. And she's also got a crown of butterflies, which is transformation. So, being in this position, I would dare say that people are starting to notice you as someone with clear sight and clear mind, and that can guide other people too as kind of a mentorship. So, what's the clarifier saying with that, Fran?
We've got the Ten of Wands. I
Mhm.
don't feel that this is you necessarily being burdened. It might be for some of you, Libra, but I think for the majority of you, it's really just your harvest is coming in, and don't lose sight of that. All of your hard work
Mm.
is paying off, Libra.
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't give up. Okay, cool. All right, and then we've got the 11th house. Oh, we have the Three of Cups. It's a card of celebration. 11th house is about groups and dreams and wishes and hopes. So, something really beautiful. I feel like this whole reading's been telling a story from the start. It's this offering coming in, the holding on to things around the placement of family, the temperance, refining that, getting another offer in the sixth house, and then the Tower, this insight coming through. You see clearly with the Queen of Swords, and then suddenly there's celebration in the 11th house. So I feel like, yeah, it's a very nice kind of flow to your journey. And the Three of Cups is also about connection to others and community, not just celebrating for yourself, but sharing that with others and bringing that joy to their lives too. Let's see what the clarifier says, Fran.
Okay, this is interesting. We've got the Three of
Ooh,
Swords. I
interesting.
feel like I feel like this coupled with the Three of Cups changes the meaning of the Three of Swords. I feel like this is something that you've moved through, you've healed from, and there's a sense of relief and almost like a sense of celebration. You know, that Three of Cups is, as Em was saying, it's so celebratory. And landing in your house, your 11th house of hopes and wishes, I feel like this is about wish fulfillment, and it's the hard work you've done around healing that heartbreak that's allowing this to come through. So, yeah, great work, Libra.
Yeah, great. It's so positive. And then in the final house, the 12th house, we have the Five of Cups. So again, this twist to the story, and in the 12th house of all things hidden and the shadow side of transformation. It's kind of like in the 11th house, you've got these hopes and wishes, but then the duality of that is sometimes we can be fearful of the opposite happening. And maybe you're experiencing some fear around, am I going to grieve something happening in the future? There's also the cups that are standing behind the figure in the card. And if only he would turn around, he would see that there are beautiful things waiting for him. And it's speaking to emotional fulfillment, that grief is a necessary part and process of life, and that can bring us more insight and more, I guess, joy eventually, because we're starting to feel grounded through our own experience. So let's see how you can work through that with a clarifier.
Hmm, beautiful. You've got the Six of Pentacles showing up in your
Wow.
12th house. So the 12th house, as Em was saying, is all things hidden. It's deep. It's ruled by Neptune. So it's about dreams and the unconscious. And it's kind of the house of spirituality or spiritual work. So I get this sense here with the beautiful Six of Pentacles. You know how to go deep within yourself and replenish yourself, and you're not sort of holding on and withholding and not giving out enough. You're not too in and you're not too out. So I think the balance is there. I feel like you've worked through that previous card that kind of speaks to the grief that Em was referring to. I think that's something that you've worked through, but it is suggesting don't shy away from it. So if grief comes up, don't be scared. You've got the tools and the skills. You know how to process it, Libra. And by
Hmm.
doing so, this reading suggests that abundance is yours.
Yeah, great. Thanks for reading with us, Libra, and we'll see you for the second half of October.